But you basically just want to start with being able to do pull-ups. Kind of to start would be to just do negatives. So starting at the top, lowering nice and slow, where you kind of match your chest, get your feet, and then you're pulling. So it's kind of a similar pulling action, a jumping pull-up into a negative. So I'm going to use the momentum of my jump, pull, and then lowering nice and slow. The chin up, which is hands facing you, can be a little bit easier. It also locks the shoulder in, so it's a little bit safer on the shoulders. Again, ultimately, to do the salmon ladder, being able to do 5-10 pull-ups in a row is going to be helpful. And again, the pull-up is hands facing away. You want to go all the way down, all the way up. Next, we'll be going over the kip. So with the kip and the salmon ladder, you want to be able to use your hips. With the kip, I want to imagine that I got like a bar or an axis going through my hips, and I'm sticking my butt back, driving it forward, sticking my butt back, driving it forward. And this is where your power comes from. When I talk about your core is from here to here. So this is the engine and this is the transmission. So you want to be able to pop your hips to create the power. I'm hanging and I think about my butt going back and forward. If I want to stop, I can, because I'm controlling it all through here. A lot of people I see when they start to do this, they start to kind of do an ab crunch and tighten everything. But it's like they get all, and they try to lift their legs, right? And I actually want to have my feet kind of floppy and loose, and I'm just moving through the hips. So my feet are just kind of hanging, right? And I can start to create a little bit of weightlessness when I pop my hips. And I want to create this rhythm, up, down, okay. And then I start to add a little bit of a pull. And for me, with the pull, for the salmon ladder, what I recommend is kind of being here, right? So it's a little bit here so that I can then move the bar. I don't want to pull to here because then my face gets in the way. But you can start to add pull-ups within that progression with the kip. With the salmon ladder, I also want to add a knee drive because that's going to drive me up. So as I pop, I also knee drive as I pull. So the complexity of it comes from kind of piecing it all together. I got the hip, I added the pull. Now as I drive my hip and pull, I'm going to drive my knees straight up. A bit of going up this way. Now the importance with the salmon ladder and with a lot of the stuff in Ninja, you don't want to be here. I want to get to here with my arms, so I want to bend my arms so that I can then straighten them. So as I pop, drive, pull, and then extend, create that weightlessness. When we transfer that over to the salmon ladder, right, just start by hanging on the bar and working that kip, right? The bar rotates and it moves, so it becomes more difficult. Some people like to grab the bar like this to keep that from rotating. As I'm hanging, the next progression then is to kind of start to move the bar a little bit and get used to it, kind of get used to taking the impact of it coming back down. So now as I start to piece it together, what I tell people is just try to like take the bar and touch the bottom of the rung above it. Just get used to kind of pulling, moving the bar, and then landing. And I can't just go straight up because I'll hit the rung. So as I'm getting here, I do have to kind of pull it and go around. And you want to really think about purposefully placing. So I'm not only just popping and just kind of reaching, I want to pop, bring towards me a little bit as I bend, and then place and kind of set it in. One of the things I notice when they start to go to the next rung is they'll end up kind of getting one side, and it's usually the side they're looking at. I tell people is just whatever side I'm not looking at, just kind of overcompensate and go a little bit more than what you would think you would need to. So again, the next progression is to pop and try to come around in place. After you get round one, try to do two. Build the endurance to go up. So you're popping, placing, placing, placing. Okay. Ideally, what you want to do is create that rhythm. You have momentum, and it's actually easier, it's more efficient. As I land and as I'm going down, I want to be loading for my next. So ideally, kind of creating that back and forth and really getting that knee drive to go with it.